In this video, I will show you how to count rows that meet multiple criteria using two methods in Excel like this. So let's get started. Here in this Excel sheet, I have some order data. This column contains the order date, this column contains the item category, and this column contains the total order amount. Now I want to count rows that meet multiple criteria. For example, I want the count of the orders that belong to the mobile category having an order value of more than $500. To do that, we can use the COUNTIFs function. The COUNTIFs function returns the count of cells that meet the specified criteria. We can specify more than one pair of the cell range and criteria arguments to this function. Let's start the formula by typing an equal sign in the target cell. Now type COUNTIFs followed by an opening bracket. Select the range of the cells containing the category as the first argument. Since we are looking for mobile orders, type mobile in the double quotes as the first criteria. Now select the range of the cells containing order price as the second range. Since we are looking for an order having a price greater than $500, type the greater than sign followed by the number 500 in the double quotes as the second criteria. Type the closing bracket and hit the enter key to complete the formula. As you can see, we now have the count of orders meeting multiple criteria. For the normal cases such as this, the COUNTIFs function works fine. However, it does not work when we need to use a function inside the COUNTIFs function range argument. For example, let's try to get all the orders in the mobile category having an order value of more than $500 that are placed in the year 2024. Let's modify the formula to include the third cell range and criteria for the year comparison. Since we want the orders placed in the year 2024, I am going to use the year function to extract the year from the dates like this. Type a comma and type 2024 as the third criteria. When we try to enter this formula, Excel will display an error saying that there is a problem with this formula. This is because the COUNTIFs function is a range-based function and does not accept the array returned by the functions. We need to use the second method to overcome this limitation. We can also use the SUMPRODUCT function to count the rows that meet multiple criteria. Here is the formula to do that. Since we want to count rows that meet three criteria, I have specified three conditions inside the SUMPRODUCT function. The first condition checks if the order category is mobile. The second criteria checks if the order value is greater than $500, and the third condition checks if the order year is 2024. Since there are 7 rows, each of these conditions returns an array of 7 elements containing true and false values. The true value is returned if the cell matches the criteria, and the false value is returned if it does not. Since I want to count the rows that meet all three criteria, I have used the Boolean multiplication for the AND logic. The Boolean multiplication automatically converts true and false values to ones and zeros respectively. The result of the multiplication is an array of 7 elements containing 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1 and 0. Here, the value 1 represents a row that meets all the criteria and 0 represents a row that does not. Finally, the SUMPRODUCT function sums up the array elements and the result of that is 1. As you can see, we now have the count of the rows that meet multiple criteria. We can add or remove criteria from this formula very easily depending on the requirements. Watch these videos to learn more Excel tips, tricks and how-to tutorials. If you found this video helpful, please like the video and subscribe to our channel.